Welcome back for another BLT. I am the Ugly Duckling1111. Imagine with me the most beautifully enclosed man-made garden, full of all types of lovely flowers. It has every color, size, and species. Its fragrance is heavenly, full of so much beauty. It is the epitome of perfection. You'd never want it to be tainted. Now imagine you're walking about its beautifully crafted brick pathway, admiring all the flowers in this garden, and right in the middle of the bed of white lilies, you see a weed. Its stem is full of potentially poisonous needles, its leaves are wild and jagged, and its roots run deep and spread quickly. If this was your garden, how would you view this weed? As something that needs to be pulled right away before it reproduces and contaminates the entire garden? Would you burn it or poison it? Would you leave it? Or would you take the time to relocate it? Well, thanks to free will, the choice is yours. There is no right or wrong answer. Christianity is like this perfect man-made garden where no weeds are allowed to grow. You must be a flower to be a part of this garden. Is this a problem? Is it wrong? Not at all. I don't see any reason why there can't exist gardens with only flowers and no weeds. I see beauty in this. The controversy comes from the flowers preaching, pushing their beliefs, and traveling all over the world to convert plants of all different sorts into believing that they are flowers too. And once those plants acknowledge that they are flowers, they can join the perfect garden of one. The flowers are not respecting Gaia's beautiful diversity. The harsh truth is that weeds exist. And weeds are beautiful and perfect just as they are. They deserve a space to thrive in too. Weeds are wild and have no borders separating them from one another. They are mixed and intertwined with other species of plants. They grow naturally all around the world and can be poisonous, dangerous, and deadly. They can also be resourceful, fragrant, and most of all healing. Not all plants want to be flowers. Some are perfectly happy and have no desire to be anything other than exactly what they are. Is this wrong of them? Should they not exist? Do they deserve to be looked down upon, rejected, or pulled from their roots and left for dead because of this acceptance? The garden flowers think so. The flowers target the isolated and youngest weeds just beginning to sprout, who have never seen such a beautiful flower before. These weeds haven't yet found the beauty in their diversity. They haven't grown to recognize the strength that they've earned from surviving such harsh environments, because they've never known anything apart from their lives and the lives of their ancestors. No, they are the young and vulnerable, innocent and easily influenced. They don't have a gardener that protects them from invasions. The flowers bring with them their garden tools and the promise of protection to keep the bad, dangerous plants out. They bring plenty of fresh, purified water, fertilizers, and shelter from Gaia's harsh environments. These young and innocent weeds have never seen anything like them before, and they are grateful for all that the flowers bring. The flowers tell them they too can have all of this forever. All they have to do is believe that they are flowers too, and what they believe will come true. But if this was God's intention, then what's with all the diversity? Why didn't God create an earth full of perfect gardens filled with nothing but diverse species of flowers? Do they think God wanted the flowers to eventually take over all of Gaia? To become a planet full of only flower gardens, where all desert weeds, seaweeds, wild herbs, deformed trees, jungle plants, fungi, and those that are poisonous only to the flowers are eradicated from the earth? I don't believe so. I believe that God does not make mistakes. Weeds have learned how to quickly reproduce to keep their lineage alive forever. They are one with Mother Gaia and accept their fate without question. They too have the right to exist, and they have much to teach us about survival, strength, healing, and community. Yes, some of them invade other species, just like the garden flowers. But just like the garden flowers, they are not all bad. Weeds too live in communities that help one another. There are plenty of species of weeds that do not judge, withhold their knowledge from others, or reject those that are growing next to them. Weeds are not any better or any worse than the garden flowers. They just are. They exist and deserve to exist, just as they are. Garden flowers are beautiful and fragrant, and weeds are strong and determined. We all want to live and thrive, and we all deserve to. This is the difference between oneness and religion. Religions are the man-made gardens, trying so hard to be perfect whilst ripping out or converting the imperfect weeds, because they threaten their attempts at perfection. Oneness is believing that all of Gaia is God's garden. Everything that grows and dies is perfectly imperfect, with many different species, diversities, strengths, weaknesses, and lessons. Instead of converting this diversity into becoming one thing, we need to become one with all this diversity through balance, love, and truth. I didn't write this to shit on Christians. I wrote it to deliver a truth about all religions. It's not just a saying. The truth can hurt, and I know how it feels. I had to be told many harsh truths in my life. I am not immune. I once identified as Catholic. I baptized both my kids, and one of them received their first Holy Communion. I didn't believe that I was saving my kids' souls. I did it because I knew it's what was expected of me, and I truly wanted to feel connected to my bloodline. I was innocent, people-pleasing, and searching so hard for something to believe in. This was a hard truth to learn about myself. I began to find happiness when I took giant leaps to stop conforming and people-pleasing. And this is only an invitation to the truth. Take it or leave it, but always be kind. I hope you'll join me again for my next video. It will be another truth not many people want to hear. The truth is delivered with love to help us find balance. Peace and love.